The empty seat at the counter and the cold apple pie. I was 14 when my older brother Leo stopped showing up for our Friday night diner runs. Not because he went off to college and not because he was mad at me, but because nobody knew where he went. Leo left the house on a crisp October evening to grab a bag of ice from the corner store and just vanished. One minute he was arguing with me about who got the TV remote, the next, his phone was going straight to voicemail. At first, the whole town of Oak Ridge treated it like a teenage stunt. Maybe he took off to a party. Maybe he ran out of gas. But by day 4, there were state troopers mapping out our woods. By week 2, the flyers on the telephone poles started looking weathered from the autumn rain. People stopped asking, "Have you heard anything?" Instead, they just gave us that pitiful look and walked away. My mom completely stopped cooking. Our kitchen, usually smelling like garlic and roasted chicken, became dead silent. One freezing November night, about 3 months in, I couldn't take the quiet anymore. I walked down to the local diner, the place Leo and I always went. I sat at our usual booth right by the jukebox. The place was mostly empty. I ordered a single slice of apple pie with 2 forks out of habit. When the waitress dropped it off, she looked at the extra fork, then looked at me and her eyes went soft. I just stared at the empty vinyl seat across from me. Leo's seat. I took a bite. It tasted like cardboard. Just then the front door jingled. It was my dad. He looked like a ghost, heavy bags under his eyes, his coat unbuttoned. He didn't say a word. He just slid into the booth next to me, took the extra fork and poked at the pie. Leo always complained they didn't put enough cinnamon in this. Dad muttered, his voice cracking. I let out a tiny breathless laugh. Yeah, he called it glorified applesauce. For a second, we both smiled, holding onto that memory like a lifeline. Then Dad's shoulders shook and he started to cry. Quietly. I did too. 2 guys crying over a dessert neither of us wanted. Then Dad reached into his heavy coat. He pulled out Leo's favorite denim jacket, the one the police had finally handed back after searching his car. Dad reached into the front pocket and pulled out a crumpled movie ticket stub. It was dated the exact night he disappeared, the 8 p.m. showing on the back. Leo had scribbled a reminder in messy ink. Buy Sam that video game for his birthday. That was me. I was Sam. It wasn't a goodbye note. It was just a normal everyday thought from a brother who fully expected to see me in an hour. That hit harder than the disappearance itself. The pie grew cold. We left it on the table. 2 years later, they found Leo's car at the bottom of Blackwood Ravine, a patch of road with a broken guardrail and no streetlights. It was a tragic accident on a foggy night. We got our closure, but even now, whenever I smell cinnamon, I'm right back in that diner booth. 2 forks, 1 empty seat, and a movie ticket from a boy who was just trying to get home.